They never say it outright. But if you're sharp, you'll notice. The rich live in a different world. A world full of secrets, manipulation, and dark psychological games that are almost impossible to believe. Have you ever wondered why some people keep getting richer while millions stay stuck in the same place? That's not a coincidence. That's design. The first secret, wealth isn't about money. Wealth is about control. Control over yourself and control over others. You think money makes you free? Wrong. Money is just the entry ticket. What the rich really want is the power to make others submit. There's a dark fact rarely exposed. Most billionaires aren't just hardworking. They exploit mass ignorance. They understand something you were never taught in school, that humans can be easily programmed. Why do ads repeat the same thing over and over? Why do big brands pay millions for a single slogan? Because they know your mind is weak. And once an idea is planted, you'll buy without realizing it. This isn't just marketing. This is a psychological experiment. Behind the smiles of giant corporations lies a dark history. In the early 20th century, wealthy industrialists teamed up with dark psychologists to create propaganda. They learned how to manipulate the masses through fear, envy, and insecurity. And to this day, that formula is still in use. Have you ever felt like a failure just because you didn't own a certain item? That feeling isn't natural. It's programmed. They deliberately make you feel inadequate. So you keep buying, keep working, keep becoming a slave to the system. The rich aren't playing on the same board as you. If you work for money, they work to build systems that print money. And the scariest part? They make you believe the system is fair. There's a forbidden secret few dare to mention. The rich hide their money in places even governments struggle to reach. Tax havens. Tiny islands with shadowy rules. There, money is washed, folded, and spun until it's untraceable. And you're scared of being late on your electricity bill. Why do almost all people fall into this trap? Because since childhood, you were taught the wrong things. School never taught you how money really works. It only taught you how to be a compliant worker. The rich know this. That's why they create special schools for their children. There, they learn how to lead, not to work. How to control, not be controlled. And you? You believe the myth that a university degree is your ticket to freedom, when in fact, it's just a ticket to debt that will chain you for life. Another hidden fact. The rich don't save money the way you're told to. They know money dies slowly in a bank. They move it into assets that keep generating more. Stocks, property, even companies you've never heard of. They don't store money. They hide it while multiplying it. Have you ever wondered why economic crises keep happening? Do you really think it's random? Or is it engineered? Here's the dark truth. Crises are often feasts for the rich. When ordinary people lose their homes, their jobs, the rich buy assets dirt cheap. And when the economy recovers, they're even richer. This is the biggest dark experiment, creating cycles of suffering that keep devouring the little people while the elites smile behind the curtain. Another dark psychological trick the rich always use. Scarcity. They know the human brain panics when something feels limited. That's why luxury brands make limited editions. That's why big event tickets are always almost sold out when they're not. They're not selling products. They're selling the illusion that if you don't buy now, you'll lose, and we're all trapped. Because our brains are still the same as our ancestors who feared running out of food. They exploit our primal weaknesses for their gain. And then, there's the secret network. The rich don't walk alone. They have circles, closed groups, secret meetings, shadowy clubs. That's where decisions are made. Who will rise? Who will be destroyed? Who will get billion-dollar contracts? You think success is purely hard work? Often, success is the result of hidden networks you don't even know exist. History proves that great wealth almost always comes with darkness. From slavery, war, colonization, opium trade, even genocide. Many wealthy dynasties today stand on the blood and suffering of millions. But it's hidden behind sweet words. Philanthropy, donations, charity. They buy a clean reputation with dirty money. And maybe the biggest question is, why do we still admire them? Why do we still dream of being like them, even knowing the rot behind it? The answer is simple: dark psychology. They know how to make you envy, how to make you mesmerized, how to make you bow. Here's the grim truth. Humans are easier to control with dreams than with chains. If once slaves were bound with shackles, now humans are bound with desire. The desire to look rich, to look successful, to look important. And that's the strongest chain ever forged. Have you ever felt like you're running and running but never arriving? That's their game. They built an invisible treadmill. You keep chasing, keep buying, keep working, but you're never truly free. And the most terrifying part? Most people don't even realize they're trapped. They think this is normal life. Wake up, work, pay bills, die. While behind the curtain, the rich watch and smile. Now let me ask you one thing. If all this is true, if these secrets are real, what will you do? Will you stay a small pawn on the chessboard? Or will you open your eyes, reject the illusion, and take back control? Because in the end, the world isn't just about who has money. It's about who dares to see the truth, even when the truth is horrifying. And after this, you will never see the world the same way again. But don't get it twisted. The secrets of the rich aren't just about numbers in a bank account. They play on a much deeper level, human psychology. They know one thing. Ordinary people are easily controlled by fear. Fear of losing. Fear of failing. Fear of looking poor in front of others. Why do insurance ads always scare you with death? Why do lifestyle ads always make you feel small? Because your brain reacts faster when triggered by fear. And they've mastered this long ago. Dark history proves it. Power is always born from fear. From ancient kingdoms that conquered people with swords, to modern corporations that conquer your mind with a smartphone. Yes, your smartphone isn't just a communication tool. It's a psychological weapon. Every notification, every scroll, every like, designed to keep you addicted. And every second you spend staring at it, someone rich gets richer. Have you ever realized why free apps make billions of dollars? Because you're not the customer. You're the product, your data, your habits, your fears, sold to the highest bidder. You are the digital goldmine. And they dig endlessly. Behind the screens of giant tech companies, there are dark experiments few dare to mention. They test how the human brain reacts to certain colors, certain sounds, even the timing of delays. Everything is calculated. For one purpose, to keep you staring at the screen, helpless. And while you scroll endlessly, they fill their pockets without you noticing. That's not an accident. That's design. Another hidden truth. The rich understand that the world is just a game of perception. They don't need to actually be smart. They just need to look smart. They don't need to actually be good. They just need to look good. Look at history's dictators. Many rose to power with the image of being saviors, while behind the curtain, they planted terror and destruction. Modern-day rich do the same. They buy media. They control narratives. They craft dazzling images. And we believe. Why do we believe? Because we want to. Dark psychology works not only through manipulation, but also through our own inner weakness. We crave leaders. We want to be guided. We want to feel there's someone greater than us. And the rich exploit that hunger. Another forbidden fact, they master the laws of power. One of the most brutal says, control other people's choices. Make them feel free, while all options benefit you. And that's exactly what happens. You think you're choosing brand A or brand B, but both are owned by the same hands. You think you have freedom, but your choices are an illusion. Have you noticed? Every time a huge scandal breaks, the rich always escape. There's always distraction, always a scapegoat. That's no coincidence. That's a protection system built over decades. Law, politics, media, woven into a delicate web that works only for them. And here's the most terrifying secret. The rich don't just buy things. They buy people. Politicians, lawyers, journalists, even scientists. With enough money, anyone can be bought. And once the important voices are owned, truth can be buried deep. You might think, impossible, the law protects us. But history proves otherwise. Slavery was once legal. Colonialism was once legal. Human experiments without consent were once legal. So don't be surprised if today, the laws you trust are just masks to shield them. And the big question is, if all this is true, why don't we fight back? Because the rich know how to put the masses to sleep. They flood us with endless entertainment. Music, movies, gossip, reality shows. They know the human brain prefers distraction over facing painful truths. And look around, it works. Billions hypnotized by screens, while a handful of elites hold the world's reins. Another secret, the rich play with time. They think in decades, even centuries. They build dynasties, not careers, and you worry about next month's paycheck. How could you ever win against them when your mindset isn't even on the same level? Another forbidden fact: many wealthy elites study occultism, symbolism, even ancient rituals. They believe in the power of symbols, numbers, and mass psychology. And often, those symbols are hidden in corporate logos, in ads, even in city architecture. You see them every day. But you never truly see, chilling isn't it, that this modern world is still haunted by ancient manipulation, alive and well. But don't misunderstand. Not all of these secrets exist just to scare you. Because if you truly open your eyes, you can use them. Yes, these dark secrets are double-edged. They use them to control. But you can use them to free yourself. Have you ever felt like you're just one powerless person? That's the lie they planted. Because history shows, one person with knowledge can shake the system. One idea can ignite a revolution. And here lies the final secret. The rich fear one thing above all. They fear ordinary people waking up to the truth that the system is fragile. That money is just an imaginary agreement. That power lasts only as long as we agree to obey. They fear awareness, because once you're aware, you can never be controlled the same way again. So now I ask you, do you still want to live in a comfortable illusion? Or do you dare to stare directly into the face of truth, no matter how terrifying it is? Remember, every time you see luxury, there's a dark history behind it. Every time you see a rich man smile, there's manipulation hiding in the shadows. And every time you think, it's just coincidence, maybe, it's actually part of the game. This world is not what you think it is. And the sooner you realize it, the sooner you can take back control. Because after this, believe me, you will never see the world the same way again.